Hey, how's that magazine coming? Oh, it's great. Got all the stuff written mostly. Well, it's more of a bunch of ideas floating around inside my head, but it's coming together. Should finish issue number 1 any day. Okay, cool. So, like, next month I should be able to pick it up? Yeah, okay, yeah, next month. Has your sister been around lately? That girl used to be the talk of the town. These days it seems like everyone has forgotten she even existed. It's because she doesn't exist. Video games are not a waste of time.
Well, that's me. Just, I don't know when these were taken.
How exactly do you explain all the blowing stuff up with your mind things? Can you really do that?
It's not exactly with my mind. I use sound. Remember when I kicked your ass earlier? I used the sound of my keytar to deal physical damage. If you study the physical properties of sound, you can learn enough about acoustics to both heal and damage objects orally.
Where did you learn to do something like that?
Oh, years of private practice and studying, really. So tell me more about this website. What is Onism 1999?
Basically, it's a place on the internet for people to talk about conspiracies, the occult, and anything supernatural.
That piano's loud.
Seems like something boys would like. Do you recognize the location from these photos?
That's behind the old grocery store. Obviously, you've been there before.
Interesting.
What's your name, by the way?
That's the old grocery store? What grocery store? Where is it?
My name's Vela Wild. It's interesting to meet you.
She didn't say it's nice, she just said it's interesting.
I'm guessing you're a cameraman, and this is your sidekick, Ginger Boy?
Usually I go by Alex. Only my mom is allowed to call me Ginger Boy.
She really gets us. You really would be my sidekick, Alex. Cameraman by day, Michael by night.
Right. So, why do you two spend all your time on such odd websites? Do you really believe this stuff?
Michael and I spent the next hour or so recounting the events of me finding Sammy, and us running into the star creatures inside of the old factory. As we told the story, Bella just looked into my eyes and never reacted. I first began with trepidation. As I went on, I could tell she was doing her best to understand my story. Something felt familiar about her, but not in the I've met her sort of way. Something deeper. I dated a girl in college who was a women and gender studies major. She told me that she believed men and women were all the same at our core. That we were all made of the same elements, not just on a physical level, but in a metaphysical level. She was a strong believer in spirituality, although she'd be the first to tell you she was religious. She told me she believed everyone had soulmates, plural. A series of people we were compatible with. In her theory, this applied to friendship as well as romantic relationships. She said that when the universe was created, all matter was one object, and that since we're all matter, we are all the same. She said that she believes our soulmates were cut from the same section of that initial piece of matter.
That might be relevant to what happens near the end of the game.
That unexpected feeling of familiarity you feel when you meet someone for the first time means you were meant to meet. I personally didn't believe it. I still don't think she has all her facts straight. But every time I feel what I felt when Vela looked in my eyes, I thought of this explanation.
It's almost as if you're obsessive and weird.
Did you manage to speak with the entities?
The entities? I guess you mean the star creatures.
Yes, those are the ones.
No! We were too busy running for our lives!
Did you try and take photographs of them, Michael?
Yeah, let me pull them up.
Vela told us things. Confusing things. Things that, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have believed. The way she spoke seemed two-sided. As if for a few moments, the side of her that she was trying to keep hidden was visible. And as soon as we noticed, she made to cover herself up.
He even describes her like an absolute creep would.
She made jokes more often than she was serious. But when the serious aspect of her personality appeared, I was convinced that's who she really was. This was almost more fascinating than the information she was giving us. That's the thing with people, isn't it? You can show them all the mysteries of the universe, but if they're distracted by the human element of the tale, they'll shift all of their attention there.
Huh.
Self-consumed with humanity. Self-consumed with other people. You know? That's just how people are.
My experience with them is limited, but what I've observed was powerful. I understand that what I'm about to tell you will sound like a lie, so I ask you to look past the words I'm saying and hear the truth behind them. A short time ago, I entered into a dark place, both physically and metaphysically. While I was there, I encountered the entities for the first time. I can't say what about their presence was so striking to me, but the moment I saw them, I felt something. Something that was weighted. Like their bodies took up the entirety of the room, as if they were the room.
And then they transformed into a VHS tape. It was the room.
At first, I approached one and we spoke. However, the contents of the conversation isn't important to the story. Something I said upset it, and it tried to grab me. It was almost like a mother trying to smother its child. The pain was beyond description. It scared me to death. The entity was incredibly heavy. I managed to break free, but the weight of the thing remained on me. For the entirety of the following week, it was as if someone was twisting a drill inside me.
That's pretty horrific.
My head would throb and the pain felt bone deep. You probably can't imagine what it was like, you two, but just the thought of the pain now brings tears to my eyes.
I reflected on her story. I wanted to reply, but something inside me told me to let the words hang in the air.
Oh good, he knows he should shut up sometimes.
It was as if the longer the pause between her words and mine, the more truth they carried. Finally, I spoke.
That's horrifying. But can you explain what you mean by entered a dark place? Or more importantly, physically and metaphysically? I can understand doing it physically and mentally, but I need some help with the meta part.
Metaphysical is a word, an adjective to be more specific. It means pertaining to or of the nature of metaphysics.
This is the most redundant thing.
Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that includes the first principles, includes ontology and cosmology, and is intimately connected with epistemology. Epistemology is, of course, a branch of philosophy that investigates the origin, nature, methods, and limits of human knowledge.
Thank you for the definition, which I already knew. I was looking for something more concrete, more tangible.
It is super important to him that we know he didn't need to know those definitions because he already knew them.
I'm afraid that's all I feel comfortable telling you. I don't know you at all, and to reveal something so personal seems like I'd be opening myself up to vulnerability.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how she talked if she was here at all.
Do you mean to imply that you found a way to exist inside of a metaphysical space? That you...
Enough! I don't need to talk about this with you. It makes me uncomfortable. Don't you get that?
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to piss you off.
Look, I need to get back to the arcade. I was technically in the middle of a shift. I'm gonna write my number down. Call me if you see any more interesting comments on my photos, or have a run-in with the entities.
Got that? Call me for these two reasons. Do not call me for any other reason, you fucking creep.
Wait, I have one more question before you go.
Are you single?
Alright.
How did you get to be so powerful? You took both of us on and barely broke a sweat.
You act as if that's impressive. Look, I've trained myself in the metaphysical space, inside of the mind dungeon. I like you two, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Here is one last number. Call it if you ever want to open your mind and expand your battle abilities.
Oh, I can finally level up now. I can beat up that stop sign.
That's all I'll say for now. The guy on the other end can explain more.
Who's the guy on the other end? The Mind Dungeon is now available. You can access the Mind Dungeon from any phone. This location is vital in developing your party's abilities. Do not neglect to visit here often.